Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So I thought for this video I would discuss what was modeling really like in China. I remember just before I was leaving, I was really looking for as much information as possible about what to expect. So I hope it can be a useful video for other models who are going to China, and also just for people who are generally interested. So if you are, then keep watching. Of course, this is based on my own personal experiences, so it's not going to be the same for everyone. I hope you enjoyed the video. So first of all, I have my notebook here, so hopefully I will remember everything that I want to say. I've broken the video up into different sections, so about castings and then different kinds of jobs like shows, shoots, e-com, also test shoots as well, like all this kind of things and how it works. So I hope that that can be useful. So yeah. Okay, so first of all, we have castings. So when you arrive to China, you will for sure be doing castings, individual and group castings. And group castings was something that I had never done before, because at least in my experience in Europe, most of the time, if I have a casting, my agent will just tell me, I bring my comp card and I go by myself. But it's very, very common that you will basically have lots of like group castings with other people from your agency, and oftentimes your booker will also come with you as well. Might be a different experience for Chinese models, but at least for foreign models, I think maybe the reason the booker comes is also for like a language barrier as well. So maybe this is why. But honestly, like it's quite nice, and it really depends for what you are doing the casting for. But if it's like a casting for ecom, for example, we usually try on different outfits, and they will have a photographer there, and they will have like the whole like setup, and basically you try on different outfits, also with the other models from your agency, and then they take photos and you do, you know, usually very basic poses, but also it can be sometimes they can ask you to do like some more fun. It really depends on the brand. My recommendation is like before I would go to castings, if I could, I would try and find the brand on Redbook. This is like the Chinese Instagram, and I felt it was very useful because you can get a vibe of the brand. Sometimes they have Instagram as well, so you can check Instagram too. Hey, so I thought I would do a little update. It's Wednesday, the 18th of March, and today we had like 2 castings and like a little shoot thing. So basically like one of the bookers from my agency, she came with me and 2 of the other girls to the castings. Both of them we tried different outfits and then like took photos. So like they asked for us to pose in photos, and then you change and then you take more photos. So it was like my first time like this. So let's see how it goes. Be grateful for the experience, and yeah, let's see. You also have individual castings as well. I traveled by myself, and this one is like you don't have a booker, for example, so you just go alone, which is also super normal, and it's very similar to the group castings. But yeah, basically you go, you try on some different outfits, they take some photos, and in this instance they also took like a walking video and this kind of vibe. So yeah, so it kind of just depends. For me, I really enjoyed like castings or jobs which were either in my town, because of course it's like super convenient, but I really enjoyed also when they required you to sort of travel, because I was really excited to see different places. It was my first time in China, and so it was just like really amazing to like, see different kinds of buildings and to see the vibe in different places. And yeah, so I really enjoyed that. So I think that's kind of the main thing for casting. You often take like transport as well, so you can take DDs or which is like the taxis. DD is super reliable, so if you are in China, then I recommend this. And what's nice is the trains are super efficient, and actually when you go to the train stations, it can feel like you're actually in an airport because they're so big. But honestly, I think like once you do it once, it's actually very simple to navigate. And yeah, of course the first time I was like overwhelmed when I was there. I was like, where is everything? Like I can't, like I was just trying to figure everything out, but honestly, like once you've done it once, it's easy. For the first job that I wanted to discuss is shows, because that was actually the first job that I ever did in China. And this one, basically, it was like an all-day show, and it was so much fun. I always love shows anyway because I always feel like there's like an atmosphere, and So for me, I was super excited to experience it. Hi guys, so I thought I would give a little update. I'm getting ready to go to the agency. Then I need to get ready because tomorrow I'm doing a show. So the car comes to pick us up at like 7:15, I think, in the morning. So after I come back from the agency, I'm gonna basically get ready, hop in the shower, do a face mask, kind of the plan. So yeah, anyway, I just thought I would give you a little update on that. Had two different looks, and it was super nice because for my second look I actually opened the segment, so that was super fun. For me, like, the main challenge was really like the language barrier. It was me and two girls from my agency who didn't understand Chinese. I remember I was just like observing people like all the time, like to make sure that I understood like where I was going. And of course, if I ever had questions, like, and I did, like I asked. And just like a super simple runway, like it was also like each girl had to stand at the end of each segment in a specific place, and then you had to pose or you had to do something. Like it wasn't just like a straightforward thing. So you had to remember also where you were standing, because sometimes the runway was like 30 girls on the stage, and so you had to know which one you were, because otherwise it kind of messes everything up. And that was really good because we had like rehearsals for the first part of the day. Everything worked out well. But it was challenging, but honestly I was really grateful to have that challenge, because I think it was really good for me to be outside of my comfort zone in this way. I did try and learn some Chinese whilst I was there, so I learned like a few phrases which help to get by. You definitely need to have Google Translate on your phone, because this will help you in all kinds of situations. That was my experience, and yeah, I really enjoyed it. And as my first job, I was super glad that that was my first experience working in China. Yeah, also in terms of like payments, this can be different for different scenarios, but usually for shows you get paid like one block, just like for the day. But usually if you're working any other kind of job, it can be e-com, shoots, etc., basically anything else, it's paid by the hour, which again is quite different to how it works in Europe. But it's really great because it means like if you go over time, then your overtime is paid as well. Okay, so next we have e-com. If you are going over to China to model, you are most likely going to do at least one e-com job, and this can be like lookbooks and this kind of thing. So we'll just have a list of different outfits that you're wearing that day, and you have to get through each one. I'm showing an example here for a brand called Ponderer, which was super nice. I really loved the clothes. This actually more towards the end of my stay, and then they were doing like a showroom also in Paris, and so actually I did the shoot, and then a week later I saw them in Paris, which was super cool. It just reminds me like that the world is actually very small, and that was a really nice feeling. But I really enjoyed this shoot. Honestly, with ecom, it's quite simple most of the time. Of course, it depends on the brand, but this one, you know, we just had super simple pose, and then we just like changed outfit, and yeah. I wanted to mention shoots that weren't just like ecom related, but could be for other like campaigns or things like this. And so during my time, I also shot for like some jewelry brands as well. So one of the jewelry jobs, I was able to sort of travel around Guangzhou, and that was really nice, like to see like different areas. And yeah, so I really enjoyed this. We even went to a coffee shop like for the shoot. It was a really nice vibe of the shoot. They just like took photos of like also me just like drinking a matcha with the jewelry and things like this. So that was a really fun shoot. So yeah, so they can also vary like this. Then finally, I also wanted to mention test shoots as well. For anyone who doesn't know what a test shoot is, basically a test shoot is your agency usually organizes it, but you can also organize it yourself. But in China, your agency organizes it, and sometimes in this case, it's to help, especially if you're a foreign model and you have a portfolio which is aimed more at different markets. Often your agency in China will organize you 1 or 2 test shoots or something to build your book, your portfolio, so that you have images which are more catered for a Chinese market. On my second day arriving in China, I had a test shoot, which I'm really grateful for, because actually it was in not the city which I was living, and so I was very nervous to do all the travel alone. But I think in some ways it's great when you're just kind of you have to do it by yourself so early on, because you really learn quickly how everything works, and then once you figure that out, honestly, it's super simple and really efficient. I think if I just had any advice, just logistically, before you leave your country and you go to China, you should download WeChat, Alipay, the Google Translate app, Taobao. You can also download that when you're there though, but I just prepared everything. Yeah, and then also when you get there, your agency can help you. So yeah, that's my experience. A really great time. Visit new places, meet new people from all over the world. Of course, there's challenges ups and downs, but I really enjoyed it on the whole. Thank you so much if you stayed and listened to the whole video. And of course, if you have any questions, then feel free to put them in the comment below, and I'm more than happy to see if I can answer them. And yeah, I hope you have a great day. See you.